Day 2, no sugar. I don't know how much longer I can do this for you guys. I don't think I can take any more. I can't do it. Totally kidding. I feel awesome. I feel amazing. I should have done this sooner. It's hard to start off. That you get to a certain point where you feel like you want sugar, you feel like you're gonna crack, and at that point, all you have to do is drink. That's all you gotta do. Just stay hydrated. I find I get the highest level of cravings when I am feeling a bit dehydrated. So before I eat anything, or before I decide what I want to eat, I make sure I drink something. It might be just 600 mils of water. It might be 1.5 liters of water. It might be a few cups of tea, coffee, whatever you drink. Make sure it's healthy, no sugar, of course. That's the big thing. And then I go from there and I decide what I want to eat. So today, I'll go through my day quickly. For breakfast, I didn't eat till about 10 o'clock. For breakfast, I had just a hot water boiled. It was pretty good. And then at 10 o'clock in the morning, I had a tea, geisha getaway. It was amazing. I had some fruit. I think I just had fruit. Yeah, I just had fruit. It was good. But I didn't have too much fruit, but I didn't have too little fruit. I had a good amount of fruit. Then for lunch, I had... What did I have for lunch? It's hard, like, you have to go back and think about what you had, because I was going to film it at the time, but I was at work and there's people around me all the time. So I had people coming in and out of where I was, and I had the radio going off, so I didn't want to do it and then stop and start and stop and start. It gets a bit annoying, you know. Okay, so what did I have for lunch? I definitely had some heavy cream, and I had some vegetables. Heavy cream, vegetables. It was good. Heavy cream, high in fat. And if you want a high fat diet, heavy cream is the way to do it. I think 300 mils of heavy cream was 120 grams of fat or something like that. It's a lot of fat. It is a good amount of fat, the fat that you need. Now for dinner, I just had 6 sausages like the night before, and I feel full. I feel great. I'm gonna have a tea before I go to bed, and that sums up my day. But when I woke up this morning, I will admit I did want some sugar. There was the want for sugar. It was definitely there, but I persevered. I don't get headaches because I've been on and off sugar so many times. I don't get the headaches anymore. And do you know, like, because you're so addicted to food, it's not you're just addicted to sugar, you're just so addicted to food, and you're so used to eating every 4 hours that when you get to the 4 hour mark, you start craving food generally. You know, you just want it to eat because you're so used to doing it. Your body starts to freak out. It's like, oh, I'm used to having my meal. Where's my income of energy? And it's not getting it, so your body starts freaking out. So you have to get past that point. You have to beat that 4 hour window in order to do this. I think that's a really important part of it. You have to be able to know at the 4 hour mark that you're not hungry, you're just missing out on your addiction. And if you can beat that, it makes this process so easy. Because this morning I was hungry and I thought I was gonna crack, and there's so much temptation for me to crack. I'm around bad food all the time, and it's difficult. I had to walk through Coles to get to the heavy cream, and to get there I went down the biscuits and chocolate section. That was a bad idea. I shouldn't have done that. It sent the taste buds crazy. Brain was just like, pew, 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 pew. Buy, take. But I didn't, which is good. Yeah, I did the right thing, and I'm very, very proud of myself. So I did make it through today, and it it started off a little bit difficult, but once I was hydrated, once I'd eaten a little bit, once I maintained my hydration and then ate a bit more, today was a breeze. And so my eating window for today was 10 a.m. to about 7 o'clock. I'm going to try to cut down on that as much as possible. So I'm allowed to eat whatever I want within this window, or how much I want. Sorry, not what I want, because that would go against what I'm doing. So I'm allowed to eat as much as I want during this window. So it's not a calorie restriction, it's a restricted time eating window. Restricted eating window. That's the best way to describe it. But yeah, 2 days in, I have a lot of energy. I feel really, really good. I don't feel like I'm missing anything. I don't feel hungry. I do feel amazing. I have a lot of energy and a lot of mental clarity is a big thing. It's like I'm not thinking about food. I'm not freaking out because I'm not getting sugar. My mind is clear and I feel really good. I wanted to talk about some of the symptoms you can get when you know you've had too much sugar. Now, the biggest thing I found is systemic inflammation. Now, an example of this is one time I had way too much sugar. More sugar than you've had in a week, I had in one sitting. And that's not a lie. People who know me can back that up, that I've done that more times than you'll ever know. Now, I started to feel a little bit weird because I had so much sugar. First, my head felt like there was pressure build up, mostly on the right hand side, just above my right eye. This part here, right there. And it felt like it was just that spot was getting pushed out like this. So that's inflammation on the brain, which is never good. There was some spots on my body, on my arms and on my chest, that went a red blotchy color, which is not good. It's irritation sort of thing. Now, one of the major things that I saw was my left calf was considerably swollen. And when I went to touch it, it was really spongy. Like it was really inflamed. Like I just got injured or something along those lines. And that's definitely not good. Even my shoe on my left foot wasn't fitting properly because I was so inflamed. So these are just some of the symptoms that I've found when I have had too much sugar. And so if you notice any of these symptoms, or if you have any similar symptoms or anything like that, maybe it's time to cut back on the sugar to stop that from happening to your body, because you are damaging your body from the inside. It may not affect you on the outside, but it's doing so much damage on the inside. And I don't want that to happen to you, because it's ignorance. It's all it is. It's you just don't know what it's doing to you. You don't know how bad it is. I still don't know. I've been addicted to sugar since I was about 12 years old, that I know of, and I probably was before, but I just say 12 because 12 sounds about right. So what's that? 12 years. Maybe that's why I did it, because it's like 12. That's probably why I did it. That's why I said 12. So I've been addicted to sugar for a long time, and looking back at everything that I've eaten, looking back at all the symptoms I've had throughout my body, and all the ways it has affected me, and I can see now. I couldn't see back then. I was just ignorant. I just didn't understand how bad it was for me. I didn't understand what it was doing to my body, because I wasn't getting fat. I wasn't gaining weight. I wasn't losing muscle. And to me, that said that I was eating the right stuff. But as I get a little bit older, I can understand that it's not the physical symptoms that, like, I can't see anything. Like, you can't look at me and tell that I eat a lot of sugar. It's what's happening on the inside that really is the big issue. I like this setup. I think this is a pretty good setup. Pretty comfy. I should probably be wearing a shirt, but it is quite hot. We do live in Queensland after all. What was I up to? Yeah, so I just want to stop all these bad things that I now know that are happening in my body, because I'm only getting older. My body's going to get worse and worse at being able to cope with what I'm doing to it. The damage that I've done to it already is starting to show, and it's only going to get worse because my addiction to sugar is getting worse and worse and worse. And now is a good time to stop. Right now. Well, 2 days ago. 48 hours. So, I want to hear your story. How addicted to sugar are you? What kind of issues have you gone through? Trying to beat sugar. Any success stories? Has anyone beaten sugar? How long did it take? What sort of method did you use? Definitely comment below. Definitely let me know what's going on, because that's awesome. And I love hearing success stories. I think that's amazing. I think that gives people hope. Anything that's going to help someone achieve something, I believe, needs to be shared. And I hope my story helps someone not just beat sugar, but just want to beat sugar. It just makes them go, okay, this kid, I'm just referred to myself as a kid, I hate that. But this person, me, has shown to me, them, that quitting sugar is possible. Being addicted to sugar is very, very common. It's a very common thing, but it can be beaten, and we can do it all together. So share your knowledge, share your ideas, share your tips, and as a community, we can beat sugar. We got this. Okay, so to finish off my night, I'm going to have 1 or 2 cups of tea, and then I'm going to go to gym, and then I'm going to go to bed. Now, for tomorrow, I do have the day off work, which is awesome. I'm going to have eggs for breakfast, scrambled eggs, because that's all I know how to cook. A good idea, if you don't live with someone who knows how to cook really well, learn how to cook. And even if you do live with someone who knows how to cook really well, get them to teach you how to cook. Because if you can cook your own meals, there's something awesome about that. You cook your own meal, you eat it, it tastes amazing. That's a beautiful thing. I remember not that long ago, I couldn't cook anything. And I was living with one of my mates who was really into meal prep and eating healthy nutrition and being fit, really. And it was awesome because he would show me how he does it. He would show me his meal prep ideas. He would show me things to cook and how to cook it and how to package it and prep it. And yeah, so I learned a lot from him, and I still have so much to learn because my cooking is very basic. So that's why there's no fancy meals, there's no awesome dishes. It's just basic things that I know how to cook and I know can fill me up and I know taste amazing. Alright, so that's it for day 2. On to day 3. Let's do this.